Hello, everyone. Welcome back
Hello.
to Two Grown Men. Hello, Yemi. What's going on?
Long time.
We've been away for a while. So I had issues with my microphone. Let me just play the typical Nigerian person now. The enemies plus village people were trying to come between the two grown men. My microphone was bad. Village
Mm.
people were after us. They were trying to stop us from producing and recording, and it was hard. I had to go up to the mountain to go and
Okay.
pray. Mo lọ sórí òkè, man.
Mm.
But yeah, it was microphones and all that wahala. Eventually, I had to wait for someone to send me one. Anyway, yes. So
No,
for the
nice mic.
microphone,
I'm
but
looking at the mic, and the audio production is right, guys. If you missed us, we definitely missed you. Please put it in the comments. We have a lot to say. Tonight's episode, we're just going to freestyle. Isn't that right? Allow me, just freestyle.
yeah, we're just talking. We're
Yeah,
not.
we're just going to talk.
There's no script. There's no subject. I mean, it's not like we're scripted anyway, but there's no subject. We're just going to talk today and just catch up in real
Mm.
time. As somebody said about us, they said one of the things they enjoy about us is it feels like two friends just catching up, which is what
Yep.
it is. So we're just going to be catching up and just talking. I'm going to start by asking you a question, Yemi, as usual.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But before we do, we want to ask for your support for this channel. If you are not, please like us. Please give this video a like. If you're not already subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to Two Grown Men. Let's have your support. We enjoy doing what we do, but your support encourages us and gives us the validation, the support that we need to keep this going. So please support us. Please leave us a comment. Please
Yep.
leave us a like and share
Yep.
this with your friend or anyone who would enjoy watching us. Okay.
Yep.
And if you want to be a part of this show, please send us an email at twogrownmen@gmail.com. Thank you very much. Let's get into it, Yemi. Yemi, I'm going to start by asking you, did you watch the debate last night?
No, I didn't
Uncle
watch the debate.
Donald and Sister Kamala.
It was late. I think I was sleeping then. I mean, I caught up.
Mm,
I caught up with the highlights. So no, I didn't watch it. That's the easy answer to that one.
mm.
But I've caught up with the highlights. I'm gonna find some time to watch it. Probably tonight or tomorrow. But I got the overall gist. Did you watch it?
Yes, between bouts of sleep, I caught snippets of it while I was sleeping. I sat in this chair and I was
Mm,
watching that TV behind me and I was sleeping and she came out with a game plan
mm.
and she went on the offensive straight away. And I remember thinking, okay, wow. Do you remember that the night that Joe Biden dropped out of the race, that you and I recorded something that night? And we said these famous words that America is not ready for a female president.
Yes,
And we
yes,
both
yes.
agreed that it would be a nice thing to have, but is not likely to happen. And I was watching them yesterday, and at various points, I could see her rolling her eyes and saying, "That's a lie. That's a lie." And I eventually went to bed. You know why I went to bed?
Why? Tell
I
us.
just thought, look, the bottom line is this: the people have made up their minds. Donald Trump's followers are Donald Trump's followers. His base is his base.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care whether he's right or he's wrong. They don't care whether he's mad or stupid. They don't care if he's in cognitive decline. His base is his base. They don't give a damn. Now, on the flip side of it, Kamala Harris's base, or the people who are never Trumpers, have made up their minds who they want to vote for.
Mm.
And so it's almost immaterial what we say during the debates. Maybe a few independent voters would have had their minds changed. But for the most part, I think nothing is really going to change. Nobody is going to watch. If you're a diehard Donald Trump supporter, you're not going to watch that debate yesterday and think, oh, you know what, I'm not going to vote for Donald Trump anymore.
Your mind is made up already.
Your mind is made up. And if like me, you're a never Trumper, then your mind is made up now. You're going to vote. So what one of my friends was saying is a WhatsApp group I mean, one of them was talking about it. So we're discussing, and a lot of the guys in that group would sort of be mostly liberal or independent in that particular group of people. And one guy was like, and he lives in the US. He's like, Trump, I don't like, he didn't like, I'm still going to vote for Trump. So he said, oh, we asked, who do you think won the debate? He goes, oh, Kamala Harris won the debate. She came out with a hammer and she smashed Donald to bits. But and then someone said, so, but you're still going to vote. He said, but I'm still going to vote for Donald. Because it's purely about the economy for me. It's about my pocket. And I don't care about anything else. It's about my pocket. And I think that Donald Trump is the best president for my pocket. And you have to recognize that everybody's going to vote based on how it affects them. Yeah. And from where he's coming from, it's his pocket. And that's the bottom line.
If you're not putting money in his pocket, how to, you know what I mean?
He's like, I wish it wasn't Donald Trump, but I can't vote for Kamala Harris. And then he then went into some details. He said, look, she's promising to give money to $25,000 to families, $6,000, $25,000 people who want to buy a home, $6,000 to families. That's a lot of money.
Where's the money going to come from?
Some guy was like, that's several $1 trillion. Where's that coming from? And then he goes, look, I went to an HBCU, historically black college or university, and
like
all over. Yeah, it's like all of my friends, like all over the internet this morning, people are insulting each other, people are unfriending each other because they're like, how you're black, how can you vote for Donald Trump?
No, it's terrible, though. It's terrible.
And it's like people are saying, you went to an HBCU, how on earth can you vote for Trump? You're black, how can you vote for Trump? And someone else is like, how can you vote for Harris? The economy, how can you vote for Harris? She's too woke. How can you vote for Harris? She's too left. And there's like, and people are having genuine personality conversations about it. And it takes me back to our own circumstance in Nigeria. And I remember that 2 years ago when BAT was on the ballot, and it was quite divisive. Would you vote for Atiku? Would you vote for Tinubu? And people were like, oh, and people were going on and on about it. There were people talking about tribal lines, his track record in Lagos.
Yeah.
And people were saying, all the usual debates, all the things that we know about. And now that we're where we are today and we're dealing with what we're dealing with today, the economy, the way the conditions of the state of the economy, the way things are, I'm now in groups where people are, some people are not able to speak because when you speak now, somebody goes, are you talking? Are you talking? That will you keep quiet? Will you keep quiet? They dug up somebody's message yesterday. The internet never forgets. They dug up something that somebody wrote 2 years
when
ago.
When did they write it? 2 years ago.
2 years ago. I swear to God.
2 years is even good.
They were like, yeah, that maybe you said this and that. You cannot complain. You can't complain because we told you were saying this, that, and the other.
They'll screenshot it.
Oh yeah,
they'll screenshot it before you delete your own words.
Swear to God,
so they can send it back to you that we know you. We saw that too. We saw when you deleted it.
Besides, the Wayback Machine. There's something called the Wayback Machine, right? Which keeps a record of every website, and so if you can access that, you can go back to somebody's Twitter page to a specific date and go back to what the person posted. They might have deleted it all, but there's a record out
somewhere
there.
In the cloud, somewhere.
Somebody has that record. Did you say this thing that day? See you now. It's there. Shame on you. So, but I remember just thinking, look, so I went to bed. This is like 3:30 or so. I was like, what? To hell with this. Watching this debate, I'll watch the clips tomorrow.
No, sleeping, man.
The full debate will be on YouTube anyway. So we'll just watch the full debate on YouTube. you know.
So I understand this is probably first and last debate. So initially they said that they were going to do 3 debates. Even that was back and forth. Trump wasn't willing because, as you know, he's having a second debate with a second presidential
candidate.
unprecedented. I mean, think about it now. He thought that he had floored the Baba. Now Baba say, I'm not doing anymore. You people, I'm done. And now he has to now regroup. It's not easy or strategy-wise. He has to regroup on Kamala, and he was like, he's only going to do one. But you notice that, okay, the ABC-led debate.
Moderators.
Yeah, I noticed something. That, number one, there was no audience, which was good. There was no audience. So everybody was watching, like you guys are watching us. And if you're watching us, subscribe and like Olawunmi said, back to it. There was no audience. So there wasn't any opportunity to overcheer or boo, right? So you cheer or you boo in the comfort of your own home. That's number one. Number two, the moderation was very good. This is not the first time that this has happened, but it was very good in that when one speaker is speaking, the other speaker's mic is muted. So that was good because there were no interruptions, there were no interjections, there wasn't any room for snide remarks and ad-libs, and you know what people do to you people, we're all adults here now. You know what you need to do to get somebody off their game in an argument. That was impossible. So when Kamala was speaking, Trump had to listen. When Trump was listening, Kamala had to listen. One more thing that I read, like I said, I didn't watch it, guys. But one more thing I read was that the moderators were also fact-checking. I think they fact-checked Trump more.
They did fact-check. Yeah, they did fact-check
Kamala. But to the point you made earlier, Trump made a couple of statements that were not factually correct. Something about some immigrants eating pets in a part of the U.S. There wasn't any recorded evidence of that happening.
Some
other things happening. But overall, from what I read, and I went to different sources, the debate was won by Kamala. She was able to throw him off his game. She was able to say more about what she was going to do. Like you mentioned, $25,000, this and that. But I think ultimately for me, I don't think a presidential debate is what is going to swing the presidential election. Like we said, what you said earlier. I think what a presidential debate does is, one, it allows the speakers to maybe speak about a couple of policies that people are not, because those policy documents are huge. How many people are going to read a 70-page document? A 1 page or 5 pages on agriculture, the 4 pages on housing, immigration. Yeah, so people will just look at highlights and then run with it. So it gives you that opportunity. But for me, most importantly, the undecided voters is what I think presidential debates are for. Because there's no presidential debate that is going to stop anybody that was going to vote for Trump to continue to vote for Trump. And you gave the example of your friend just now. He's still going to vote for Trump because he's looking at it from an economic standpoint. So he doesn't care whether he's been convicted, he's been with 350,000 women, he's been fraudulent all his life. Is this my guy? This is my guy. I'm going to vote for him. Let's remove sentiments from pocket economics. So back to what I was saying, the undecided voters, that it may sway them, some of them, I think, in some states, to say, okay, from what I've heard, I was undecided about Kamala, and I'm going to vote for her because maybe there was one thing she said. And we don't want to dissect this whole topic, but the major things that I read that they covered abortion rights. So Kamala is one way, pro-abortion. Trump is anti-abortion, but then he clarified that in some cases he thought that it was okay. So he was, in those cases are rape, harm to the
incest,
and
where the
incest
mom's life, when the mother's life is at risk.
is at danger. Yeah. So those are the three major parts, but it was still saying no. And they talked about fracking. They talked about fracking. They also talked about the economy, like you said. What does that mean for middle class families? And taxes. What does that mean as well? Taxes. So those are the few things that I was able to see from the highlights. But I mean, what about 55 days? November 5th, I think, is when 4th or 5th, I can't remember, is when they're having the election. So it'll be interesting to see. And back to the point you were talking about earlier, will she win? It will be historical. It will be historical. And for me, will because she has the bit is a bit unique in that she has with Barack had a black father, an African father from Kenya, and a white mother. With so it was simple. With her, she has South Asian roots. She also has African American roots. So you will see people talking about it online. Some people are saying she's more South Asian. She's more either way. Wherever you stand on that, it's going to, if she wins, it's going to be unprecedented,
Historic.
first time, historical. But then some people are saying, don't just vote on identity alone, or vote on
Vote the
one
issues.
Yeah. So what are the issues? What's this person going to do? So it'll be interesting. I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be closer than people are giving credit for it, because 6 weeks ago in the polls, I think she was about 20% up at one point, just before the debate. They were like neck and neck in the polls. So anything can happen over the next, couple of months, but we'll see. What else do you want to talk about? What else has been trending in the world? Not just the US politics. So we just talk about US politics. We'll probably come back to that at some point when something else comes up that is major. But what else is going on in the world? There's been a lot of madness.
No, the world has gone mad. The world is
There's
mad.
been a lot of madness, yeah. Arrests,
the world is
murders, fighting, countries, individuals. So what do you want? What what do you want to talk about?
Nigeria, hard. Hard. Look, I'm going to try to not be another person that's whinging and complaining about Nigeria. But you know something is hard. In my conversations with everyone, people are crying, people are complaining. I spent today with two of my friends. We were looking at doing some work together. So we went, and the entire time we were all just complaining about the cost of doing business, the ease of doing business. The bottom line is that Nigerians are tired having to buy petrol at the cost we're buying it. Look, the subsidy had to go, regardless who won the election. Everybody said we are going to remove the fuel subsidy. In fact, I came across a clip from the late great MKO Abiola, and he was talking about doing his Hope 93 campaign. And what was he talking about in 1993? The fuel subsidy, the lack of transparency between
who are the marketers, who are the people profiting. I remember that interview.
And he was an accountant. So he's saying, why is there this mystery behind the price of fuel? If you're producing it locally, what's the production cost? If you're importing it, what is the landing cost? What is the retail cost? And therefore, what is the difference between the two?
Yes. Simple question.
With us, look.
It's a racket.
It's a racket. What you see is this is a land of grave injustice. A couple of people sent me newspaper. People sent me headlines. A case between Union Bank and one of its customers, where the customer's property was sold over a debt, and there was no transparency. And the case was, this thing happened in 1997. This is 27 years later. You're still fighting for justice.
They are still in court.
They're still in court. They just got a high court judgment after 27 years.
Wow.
And we say that justice delayed is justice denied.
Denied. Is it?
Now, they just gotten judgment at the high court. There's still the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. These people could probably still be at this case for the next 10 years.
And legal fees are being paid.
Look, where is the justice in it? Where is the justice if you're going to fight for your rights for 30 years? When you do win, is it now not a Pyrrhic victory? Even if you won all the money in the world, does it compensate for the pain?
The time, what about the time? Yeah, the time
the anxiety, what you lost in that time. So when I see us, I mean, petrol is expensive, but we're still queuing to buy petrol.
Even though it's expensive.
And then there's so much speculation. Oh, Dangote is going to launch his refinery, he's going to be selling petrol. What's the price? There's also so much misinformation out there that it's hard to decipher what is factual from what is not. You know, if you're not willing to spend a few minutes to ask the questions and do your own research, there's so much bad information out there. And where do you go? It's hard. It's a hard time right now to be a grown-up. This adulting is a scam.
Let's wake it up. Let's wake that up.
It's a hard time to be a grown-up. I don't think it's ever been this hard. I don't think our parents' generation had it this tough. It's tough for everyone.
Yes.
It's tough. It's hard out there, I mean.
No, I mean, stop. I felt it. I felt it in April and May. I felt it in December. I feel it every single time I speak to people, relatives, close friends, and even people that I know are quote unquote doing well. I've had to make adjustments. They've had to tell their staff only come in twice a week because he said, Yemi, when the accountant came and said, if they come in twice a week, we're going to cut down energy costs by X million naira a month. So you're better off giving them money for their data, of their Wi-Fi. You connect it to a server that you can control. You give them tasks to do. You can check whether they're, when you set up meetings, they attend the meetings. Yeah, they will have free time to do their own thing. That's fine, as long as they deliver. I mean, that's starting to be a global standard. But the whole overall thing was to reduce costs.
Yeah.
So it's everybody. It's tough. I'm reading the news. I read the news every day. I watch people are going on social media. Yeah, some of them are skits, but quite a lot of it is real. When you go to the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, you're a business person, so you're talking from your own business perspective, and not just you. It's the business owners, it's the employees, it's the employers. Everyone is feeling the brunt. Everyone is feeling the brunt. Everyone is feeling the brunt. People are saying, yes, we have to go through the storm of the needle, or we have to go through the ruffle before we can get out into that clear blue swimming pool. But everyone's asking when? When? Because it's a year now. And the subsidy, going back to the subsidy, that was the only thing that Nigerians had. It's not like we have over 65 free bus pass as is done here in the UK or other parts of the West, where when you turn a certain age, like when you turn 60 or 65, oh, I'm not paying for bus anymore. My train journey is heavily subsidized. There are so many things I get. So you can say, okay, I've spent my lifetime working. When I get to a certain age, we don't have that social structure. Our family system is the social structure. Our family system is one that says, uncle this person collect this, auntie this person collect that. But even when the source, when even the source is complaining, how does that social structure now continue to be maintained? So when you now take that subsidy and you don't now put palliatives that you can say, okay, in other areas, and like you said, and coming back, bringing it all back in to what you said about being an adult in Nigeria, even in the West, it's tough. But it's you're battling different things. There's physical, there's financial, there's psychological, there's emotional, there's spiritual, family life, just waking up every day and making sound decisions and getting through the day without wanting to somebody. It's tough. It's tough.
Wherever you're watching us, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
Whether you're in Nigeria or wherever else you are in the world, how's life for you? Tell us how it's going for you in the comments. And I hope you have someone to talk to. If things are tough, I hope there's someone that you can talk to.
A support system.
Please don't internalize these things. It's hard to be a man. The other day, I heard that Tyrese was arrested for not paying child support payments, right?
Let's talk about it.
So Tyrese gets arrested for not making child support payments. I don't know what the circumstances are. Can he afford the payments? Does he have the money? Does he even have the money? Because it's easy to say, oh, he's a celebrity, he's rich, he gets paid millions. How much of that money has he kept? Because he was on that breakfast show and they were saying, oh, my diamonds are fake, this is fake. You saw that episode. I mean, it's been real, but I can't help but feel that he's dealing with some tension, some pressure, and it's just let him go.
Tyrese is under a lot of pressure. He's a man. I'm a man. You're a man. We're all under pressure. Tyrese is under a lot of pressure. Without going specific into the details, from what I read, it was back payments. He refused to pay the money out of principle. But as you know, the law system doesn't work that way. It's very unfair. The law system is very unfair. I must add, I think it's extremely unfair when it comes to family matters, and it has been for some time. There has been female judges in the US that have said this is not fair because some of their sons
are now dealing with those things. Yeah.
Sometimes when he bites you, if you have daughters, they might know. When you have a son and your son comes to you and says, my net worth is gone, half of it is gone, you'll be like, hey, you've been working for 20, 25 years. When did you marry her or whatever? So in his own case, it was $10,000 a month, and he said, what does a 2-year-old, I think she's 4 now, what does a 2-year-old need $10,000 a month for? Which is a very valid question. Irrespective, $10,000 is a lot of money. So he didn't pay the money accrued. So the $73,000 is actually a mixture of the monthly money and her legal fees. So everything all lumped together. So he was arrested, and he made a deal with the courts that he was going to pay the money. But like you said, does he have the money? Because as you know, as even celebrities, not only do they have a large retinue of staff and people that are paying off taxes, etc., but as they get older, if they're not constantly working, if they're not constantly churning that income coming in, which is why you see a lot of them doing 2, 3, 4 different. I mean, they're on TV, they are acting, they are singing, they are in podcasts, they're on YouTube, they are everywhere. Yeah, they're hustling because the lifestyle has to be maintained, etc. And it's not easy. So, like you said, it might not have that money. So it could be two things. It could be unable to pay it, or it could be able to pay it but unwilling.
Be unwilling to pay.
Yes, based on principle, like I mentioned earlier. But either way, it's definitely a sad one. It's really a sad one. So there are pressures, like you said. He's been vocal. I think and viewers, what are your thoughts? I mean, we're talking about Tyrese now. Some people say Tyrese is a crybaby. He's always crying, always going on live. He's crying about the situation. He's saying it's unfair. He's saying this. Now, there's another school of thought that says, finally, we're having men that are showing emotion.
Talking.
To your point, they're not bottling in. Now he comes out, he's crying that not only is he being financially ripped apart, but he doesn't even have access to the child. And he's not a dangerous man. There's no evidence. There has not been any evidence. There are no police reports of him harming any child, right? So he's crying. So the tears are not the tears of, I have to pay out money. The tears are, my family is broken. The tears are, I can't see my daughter as much as I would like to. The tears are also the financial situation. So everything all together. And some people are saying, he's a crybaby. But me, about the school of thought that him vocalizing and him coming out and
doesn't make him a crybaby, makes him a strong man.
I think he's strong. I think he's bringing awareness to the situation, and he's pouring out his heart on his sleeve. Because would you prefer, guys in the comments, would you prefer that he went on a drug binge? Would you prefer he picked up bottles of alcohol? Would you prefer he started to inject himself? Or he had a DUI, was just driving under influence, he got caught.
Or he had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, or he had a nervous breakdown.
Why bottling?
Maybe this is his own way of dealing with it.
His therapy. This is his therapy. Let him give him his voice and let him speak and hear him out.
Yeah,
I think men these days we really are silenced. We really are not. You're expected to just suffer in silence, to hustle and suffer in silence, to not express your emotions.
It's a lot, Olawunmi. It's a lot. And I think it's also systemic. I think it's also systemic. The support lines, I think the support lines have started to come. I'm speaking about the West now. It started to show more. There's more of like, okay, if you're going through this, you can call this number. But it didn't used to be like that back in the day, 10, 15 years ago. It's starting to grow a bit. But I think that silence is actually wrong.
I agree.
It's actually wrong, because then there are health issues that are arising as a result of it, and many of it is here. It's not something that's transparent. So, like Olawunmi said, yeah, if you need to talk to someone, there are free hotlines are available. There are some men's charities. I don't have any on the top of my head because it depends on where you're watching this from. But look for those men's charities. Look for those men's hotlines, free numbers. find somebody who's a mentor or somebody who's an older friend or a younger friend, doesn't matter, that you can confide in, as much as possible.
And the shrink, at least, at the very worst, see a therapist. See a therapist because there's so much going on. You need help. Seek professional help. You bottle it in silence and you die, and life will go on.
Life goes on like this, literally like this.
So you might as well do the best you can for yourself while you have a chance to.
Yeah, give yourself a fighter's chance.
Yes. You owe it to yourself.
Absolutely.
You owe it to yourself. You don't. I mean, you have only one life. You have this one life. One life.
One life.
Yeah.
One life. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Then I saw the video of the football player being arrested. I think his name is Tyreek Hill, being arrested by the police.
Where in the US?
And that was divisive, yeah, in the US, and that was divisive as well. The policeman approached his car. I think he was stopped for speeding. He said, "Wind down your window," and he refused to wind down his window, and they eventually dragged him out of the car. And that's divisive in its own right. People are saying, "Why didn't he cooperate?" The police acted. The police went too far. They shouldn't have dragged him out of the car. They shouldn't have forced him to wind down his window. They should simply have given him. He had his paperwork. So I think they stopped him. He gave them his paperwork, and they wound up the window. And officers, they wind down. I mean, some people of the school of thought that he should have just cooperated. Why are you winding up the window? Just cooperate. Other people think the policeman did too much. Look, it was an abuse of power. The man is giving you his documentation. Go off, write him his ticket, and give it back to him. It's just tough.
And then you're adding racism to the mix. You've not even added racism. Racism is a whole different conversation. It's a whole different conversation. Completely different conversation.
I'm not having that conversation tonight.
No, it's not going to be. That's why I said it's a whole different conversation. So I'm saying that life is tough enough, and then add that, just like just kind of like deflates you like a balloon that's just been
popped.
Yeah.
So
guys, think we should wrap this one up?
I think we should wrap it up. Yeah, it's been good to come back like this.
Yeah, guys, we missed you. Hey, we missed you. We've missed talking.
We missed this voice. We've missed catching up and just talking.
Yeah, the mic.
We try to keep it light tonight. Yeah,
the mic sounds.
Try to keep it light, but there's a lot that we could be talking about. There's a lot that Yemi and I could be talking about. But
I think we should tackle music at some point. Look at the we're 90s. We were not born in 90s, but we're 90s babies.
We're 90s babies. Yes,
that's the era that we
grew up in.
That the songs, the above the rim. I'm not going to give it up on this episode, but there's a lot we can
talk about. Above the rim.
So we look at that and look at what's happening now, and look at Afro beats, and I think that'll be a good topic. What do you think?
Oh yeah,
I think it will bring the people our like age range, but it will also bring awareness.
Send us back down memory lane
to the younger ones as well.
Down memory lane, yeah.
Just to hear a couple of OGs talk about music and movies back in the 90s. Yeah, for a change, just to change it up.
Lighten it up, yeah.
Guys, we're gonna just wrap this one here today. If you're new to our channel for the first time, please give us a subscribe. Make sure that when you click on the subscribe button on YouTube, you click on the bell icon and click on all, so that all videos come to your chosen device. So your chosen device could be your tablet, it could be your phone, it could be your TV, it could be your laptop, any of those four. Then if it's your phone, enable all notifications. You go into your YouTube app on your phone, and in your settings, click on enable. That way, it comes up as a notification. So you will know immediately our video drops. And that helps us. It really, it really helps us with with you coming to watch. Because if you subscribe and you're not watching, then you've just subscribed. We actually want you to watch. We want you to engage, which is why a couple of times we mentioned leaving comments. So that's how we know. Give us a like as well, because it sends a message to YouTube that this video is being liked, and it sends it to more people to come and watch. But also comment. You agree with us, you disagree with us, it doesn't matter. Just give us a comment.
And also, if you have any questions for us, if you have any subjects that you want to hear us talk about, please drop us an email. We're at twogrownmen@gmail.com. We're at twogrownmen on Instagram, twogrownmen on WhatsApp. Send us a message asking us any questions you'd like us to cover. I will talk about it.
We'll talk about it. Yep, absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
See you in the next one.
Esho and Dupelo you.
Dalu.
For watching us. Dalu. Deme.
Odabo.